to start over the whole thing because I'm not sure if our volume is up. Don't hear it too well there, Gene. Is it on now? You got me? I wonder, do you got me? Hello. I think,
you're too loud.
Am I? Hold on. How's this over here? Is there something into this one? We're gonna. Hello.
Go back where you were.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna make sure to look at Gene. Hey, Gene, how you doing back there?
Turn that one off. Turn it back on again.
Vroom.
Go ahead and say hi real quick.
Hi.
There we go.
Mic check.
Gotcha.
Check. Test. And he's got a release coming out here in August.
Yeah, and we're going to feature that eventually. But that song was really great for a hometown, homegrown guy that goes and plays by himself a lot. I know he's got a band coming up soon that we'll talk about. The song that we heard was My First Son, Elliot, which I assume that was a tribute to his son.
Hey,
but it was a great song.
You know, Barrick was going to call in today, and I wanted to ask him that question. Do you have a son named Elliot?
I would hope so.
Because there's a song called My
If not, it's somebody
First
else's
Son,
son named Elliot.
And this was one of his first albums. He actually has Jody Bilyeu on the harmony vocals, Wurlitzer, and mandolin. You know who Jody Bilyeu is,
he plays like every instrument available, I think.
He is the eldest of the brothers in Big Smith.
Big Smith's my favorite.
He's a local attorney. He's the son of Bob Bilyeu. Bob Bilyeu was the high school debate coach at Parkview, and now they actually have the Bob Bilyeu Winter Classic Debate Tournament named after
Jody
him.
Gets it from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Jody and Mark are both. If people are listening out there in 417, Mark Bilyeu and Jody Bilyeu, they're the main two front dudes there in Big Smith. We've all seen them and we've all loved them for years.
And they do play at one of the venues we're about to have on today
oh my God.
as well. Every New Year's typically, which is a huge fun deal. So I would love to. I've already kind of talked to Jody a little bit about coming on at some point.
Well, and also, not just Jody was on it, man.
Yeah.
Molly Healy, Mike Henderson, Dallas Jones, Brandon Moore, Dave Anderson, and it was recorded by the one and only Jimmy Ray. Jimmy Ray, he's in the Hillbenders, and they opened for the Who.
Yeah,
They opened for the Who.
Yeah, he's got a studio. Is that right?
Yeah, here in town, he does some stuff up at Drury, and it's really cool to see that these people who, 20 years ago we might have been hanging out at the bar next door.
Oh yeah.
And now there's a serious music scene here, brother.
That's coming back alive. That's why we started this show, though, right? I mean, this is why we had the heart to, when approached by the radio station to start a show, the first thing on my mind was venues, bands, live local people, the new bands, the people that have been doing it a while. Let's boost them. The businesses that we don't know about, the venues we don't know about. And we've got two people here that are also our new sponsors as well. They're going to be coming on the front porches as well. But we'd like to,
Roger and Jeanette are here.
Roger and Jeanette Wilson with Surface Tech. So we're super excited to have you guys here.
So real quickly, though, let's cap off. This is the variety radio show, Who Do You Know in 417 Mo. And if you want to find us, if you're driving in the car and you want to see us online, make sure you go to Facebook right now and type in Who Do You Know in 417 Mo. Every Wednesday at 3 p.m. you will find us here on the airwaves at 560 a.m. on your radio or 93.3 FM, but also on our Facebook page, there's a click and link to just listen to it like you're on the radio, but you're sitting at your desk at the office. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, also, we want some people to call in today. We want to make sure you have our phone number. I believe that we do have some people calling, so we need to watch the phones, Gene.
Yeah.
Gene?
Call in at...
Gene, are you there? Gene? Gene?
Here.
All right. Gene?
He's here.
Hey, our microphones aren't on, Gene. Oh, Gene? Are you listening for the phone?
Oh, God, no.
And the phone number is 862-9977 if you want to call in. But we'd also like to thank our sponsors real quick. They are starting to stack up. We've got Meridian Title in Springfield. Jeremy Bertram, thank you so much. We've also got the Whiskey River Market down in Ozark on F Highway. We've got the Stockpile.
But, hey, we got a new one.
Clever.
Dude.
Got our new one.
Hey, we've been talking about those three sponsors, for the last few months, and they've had some great business turnaround also. But
absolutely.
A new guy came in yesterday. I'm so excited. His name is Grady Bolin, and he has a product called G's Pimp Juice.
I love that name. It's an easy one to remember, right?
Absorb that, brother.
Yes. Now tell us what it is. Real quick.
G's Pimp Juice is actually a locally formulated car care system. This guy's had a place out in Mountain Grove for a long time. Innovative Car Products is his business now, but he's a really cool guy. You see him all over the internet. Grady Bolin. He might be calling us here shortly.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about G's Pimp
Proprietary,
Juice
man.
later.
He made it. He sells it. He's awesome. He's
Yeah.
making a big wave in it. But let's talk about who we've got here right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is what we call the door knock.
This is
We
great.
had a couple of cute folks from down in Nixon knock on the door today. They're sampling some of the cobbler right now.
Having some coffee, right? Some coffee. Coffee talk. We don't talk like that in the Ozarks, but some people do actually. But okay, so
Unless they moved here from Jersey,
Right,
they might talk
which
like
it is
that.
a melting pot
I mean,
here.
you can't really judge
That's
someone
true.
just because they might have an accent.
Exactly.
I mean, doesn't mean they don't love the Ozarks.
The Ozarks.
That's right. We've got to go out to Boys Dock.
Boys Deck.
Let's go out to Boys
You know,
Dock.
it's funny. I get stopped a lot from people. I live on 65 Highway, and I have a lot of people that stop me and they ask me about Busick, and they're always looking
You
for.
say it.
They're saying Busick. They say it with a question mark. It's so funny.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
know,
they
it's
do
same thing
say
with
it like
Boys
that.
to Arc. But either way, we love our etiquette here in the area.
Kearney.
in
I'm
our
gonna go up to Kearney Street.
You know, someone's not lived here that long when you hear that stuff, which is great. But it still took all of us probably a little while to know what that was too. But who we have right now is we have Surface Tech Kitchen and Bath Resurfacing. Roger and Jeanette Wilson, owners of Surface Tech down in Nixa. Thank you both so much for being here, guys.
Thank
you.
for having us.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourselves. The reason why we started this radio show is to know more about businesses than just what's on the surface. No pun intended. Sorry.
You completely intended.
Yeah,
The name of the
totally. I
business
did,
today.
totally did.
We're going to go back to the Bassomatic. This is Surface Tech, located in Nixa, Missouri, to resurface all of your bathroom and tile needs.
Yes, and you're at 492 West Tracker Road down in Nixa. What made you choose Nixa of all places? I'm from Nixa, so
Of all places.
I'm from there.
I was going to say, it's a
You
pretty
know,
cool
I
place.
love the place.
The location, I guess, is ideal for what we do. We wanted to be close to Springfield, but not necessarily in Springfield, and we also wanted to be able to service the Branson area and the surrounding areas.
Perfect.
So,
Well, that's exactly why most businesses start in Nixa, because they don't want to be in
Sure.
Springfield. And it is a great location. You're right off Tracker Road and what people would call Campbell or 160. But let's backtrack a little bit. Now that we've talked about where you are, let's talk about who you are real quick. So you guys, we were talking earlier, you guys have been married 27 years. That's a big deal. What made you fall in love, Jeanette? Is he that
I mean,
suave?
look at him.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm
that's
just
a
He
lovely
married-
it had to have
question.
been the hair, because I imagine you having the most beautiful,
yeah.
thick, luscious, flowing, feathery hair
Yeah.
in your 27 years ago. You're about like
Yeah.
40 now, 45?
yeah, right. It wasn't quite as gray back then, but
Never
anyway,
is, right?
No.
So where'd you guys meet?
We met in Calico Rock, Arkansas.
Calico Rock, Arkansas. Beautiful down there, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we
and then-
dated 2 years, and next Thursday we'll be married 27 years.
Wow, good for
Yeah,
you guys. That's
so-
amazing.
so,
That's and you have 4 kids collectively, right? So
Yes. Yes.
blended family, which all got
Yes.
along very well. It sounds like. So,
Yes.
so now tell us, you started. So obviously you're from Calico Rock or near Calico Rock, Arkansas, right? So you started this company how long ago?
13 years ago.
What
Almost-
made you decide to do that? That's a big leap of faith to start a
Yeah,
company
well,
that no one's heard of, right?
Right, right. For 25 years, I did service work, heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration. Had my own business part of that time, and got tired of it. Wanted to do something different. We had done a lot of remodeling, buy houses, live in it, flip it,
Okay.
and so after spent a couple of years building houses, got into this business through another business that we started. But anyways, it just fit my what I like to do. I'm a hands-on kind of guy, and so I saw the need for it. Also, just the practical part of it.
Right.
And I went for it.
Well, and that is a good lead-in because of what you guys do. It's. I have known you guys for a little while now, but going down to your showroom, I saw presentations, things you did like that. But actually going to your showroom and seeing all the samples, seeing all of the testimonials that people have handwritten to you on the walls about saving people money. That's what I kind of gathered from that, right? So you guys, instead of, let's just talk about what surfaces do you work on. And the name of this company is Surface Tech. So what surfaces do you work on?
Well, kitchen countertops, bathtubs, tile, showers, fiberglass tubs and showers.
All the
You
expensive
should
stuff
see
in
this
a
stuff.
house.
I tell you,
Yeah.
all the people I work with in real estate, if you're listening and you own a house and you have that tub or that sink that you think, oh, sometime I'm just going to go get something, maybe try to refinish it. No. You have to call these people. Seriously.
Yeah.
When I saw the before and after photos that are on your Facebook, etc., and then came to your showroom,
It looks so
and
custom.
plus, you guys were so charming.
Yeah.
Aside from
Thank
just
you. Thank
what it is
you.
that you do, I really want to encourage.
Yeah,
I
a
mean,
lot of people
everybody's
want
got
that.
tub, right?
Everybody wants that mom and pop feel to a company, right?
You guys
but they
seem
want
like you
somebody
really
that'll
care
stand
about
behind
people.
their product,
Yeah.
and you guys care about your people. That's why the
Yes.
testimonials I brought up, because they're all very
Yeah.
personal for you guys.
Yeah.
About how you
Yes.
work, about how you are clean when you do it, because you tape everything off,
Yep.
you mask off rooms, things like that to make sure it overspray doesn't get
Right.
there. So let's talk about the overspray real quick. We've only got a couple more minutes, but there's no demolition. That's the biggest thing.
Right.
That's important.
That's
That's
huge
important.
because you're not taking anything out. All the stuff that you just
Exactly.
mentioned that are surfaces are super expensive to do
Yeah.
any of this
And
with.
that's usually like half the reason people
Yeah.
wait to do a kitchen or a bathroom
Oh,
because
yeah.
they think about that huge mess of the tear out. I
Right.
used to have a tile and drywall company, and people would
Oh.
hesitate. But I tell you, if people are getting ready to try to sell their home or update their home, or before Christmas, the family-in-laws are coming.
Yeah.
You know, this is something that is kind of unintrusive. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And most of the time we can do it in as little as one day.
That's huge.
You know, average kitchen or a bathroom, we can do in one day or less.
Well, it's good money spent, though, because, you know, we're talking, like you said, repairing tubs. I remember growing up, family of 4, all the kids use one shower. We always got that crack in the middle of it, you know, and always tried to patch it. Never worked type thing.
I got a crack in my bathtub.
I bet you do.
What does that mean? I mean, seriously. Okay, let's get back to
I
why
see you
Jeanette
stomping
married
your
this
feet while
guy.
you're singing in the
You
shower.
guys and your business talk. Jeanette, why did you marry this fella? Tell us something good about your husband here.
He's very charming, of course.
Yeah.
And he's very real, very genuine.
It's very laid back as well.
And you have
Yes.
4 kids together and
Yes.
no mug shots between any of them, right? Like you've been exceptional parents.
Yes.
that is very important when you're raising your kids, is they don't have mug shots. That's very true.
My mother cannot say that.
So
Sorry, Mom.
I love the background story, because it really does add to what you guys are doing. I mean, as far as the finishes that we talk about with this, you're talking, how many colors do you guys have in this? I mean, you said it's a epoxy primer. You have stone flex and then acrylic urethane that goes on the top. It's a very thin product.
Speak quick or forever
Yeah.
hold your peace.
Yeah, there's over 25 colors, plus there's some new colors that are just coming out. They call the Loft Collection, which is there's 12 of those.
Okay.
And I haven't even got them all yet. but
Good.
It's very exciting.
So there's more to come. So that's
Yes,
great. So
yeah.
we'll lead into that.
Here's the thing. Surface Tech is located in Nixa. You can find it on our Facebook page. You need to make sure to look at the social media and the photos and images and other interviews of when you guys, we want to thank you for being here today. So on Facebook, go to Who Do You Know in 417-MO. So all of this kind of visceral description about resurfacing your bathtub, you can actually see what these fellas are talking
Yeah,
about.
and we're going to have some content on our Facebook page. We'll link to yours that will actually show your products. We'll go out here and we'll have some videos. We'll have some pictures taken of your products.
Okay.
We're going to post those as well, because that's what all of our sponsors get. So we can't wait to see what happens with this, guys. Thank you so
Awesome.
much for being
Thank
here,
you.
So
guys.
Roger
Thank
and
you.
Jeanette Wilson with Surface Tech, we make the ordinary extraordinary, much like your marriage and your family.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes,
thank
absolutely.
You.
Stay
What do we got
tuned.
going on?
Oh, dude, Geoff Steele from the Gilloiz. When we come back from break, you need to stay tuned. And Joy Bilyeu showed up.
The thing about hard work is there's no guarantee it will pay off. Just because you put in the time doesn't mean you'll be rewarded. The reps and the hours are the easy part. It's continuing to believe that you are next. The path to the PGA Tour.
Join us July 25th through the 28th at Highland Springs Country Club as we celebrate 30 years of golf and giving at the Price Cutter Charity Championship presented by Dr. Pepper.
It's the 20th annual institutional piano sale at Piano Craft. This year's sale includes well over 100 pianos from universities, schools, churches, and even private owners. Grand upright and digital pianos from famous makers. There's even financing and delivery available. Our most anticipated sale happens only once a year, and it's going on now. Piano Craft's 20th annual institutional piano sale. Don't miss it. Piano Craft behind Red Lobster.
When you are pregnant, your body changes in many ways. For example, expectant mothers are more likely to have gum disease, which can cause problems with the pregnancy and baby. Doctors recommend drinking fluoridated water because it's safe and the most cost-effective way to prevent tooth decay. Everyone 1 year and older should have regular dental checkups, along with proper brushing and flossing daily and drinking fluoridated water. A healthy smile means a healthy child and a healthy community.
A message from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services.
Dear Susanna, I just need you to know that I don't love you. If that hurts, well, at least you're feeling something. Well, that's more than I expected. I'll be home on Thursday. There's leftover dinner in the kitchen. There's coffee and eggs for in the morning. You don't have to stick around though. We took our time. I feel a little undone now. I feel a little bit older. I feel a little unwound. We got a story to tell. It goes just like cancer, slow and determined to in the end let us down. Dear Susanna, if there's someone you want to go talk to, that's alright, we all need someone to talk to. You can tell them I'm the bad guy. We took our time. I feel a little undone now. I feel a little bit older. I feel a little unwound. We got a story to tell. It goes just like cancer, slow and determined to in the end let us down. We gave it a try. I feel a little less helpless. I feel a little bit restless. I feel a little bit loud. This story we'll tell, it ends like it started, with both of us lonely, waiting for love to come round.
Welcome back to hashtag Who Do You Know and 417-MO. That again, leading us in from the break, was Mr. Barrick Hill, and that is his song Dear Susanna.
Yep.
Is that right?
I believe so.
Beautiful, beautiful. And we would like to make sure that we keep awareness of local musicians in the forefront of this variety radio show.
And venues.
And venues. Venues are important for local musicians. I mean, they're all connected. It's like an anthill. You know, you got to get from one place to the other. And we're so excited for today. But before we get to our what do we call it? We call it the front porch interview.
This is our front porch, yeah.
With our front porch interview, there's some people waiting at the screen door. It is Geoff Steele and Joy Steele, Bilyeu-Steele, and we're not gonna open that door quite yet because Grady is hanging. You remember I talked about Grady Bolin a second ago, right, Matt?
Yeah. This is actually a really cool product that I've been researching as well.
Pimp juice.
I like to keep my car looking nice, but this guy actually formulated a way to do it.
And his name is Grady, therefore G's. It's
And Grady,
G's
we've
Pimp Juice.
got you on
Are
the
there,
phone,
bro?
right?
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Hey, Grady, how are you?
Doing fantastic.
Where are you calling from, man? Where you live? Mount Vernon, is that right?
No. Mountain Grove.
Mountain Grove. There's so many mountains around here.
There is.
Tell us a little bit about your product real quick, Grady.
Yeah, so we started formulating products around 2010, just for in-house use here at the shop, because we actually have a automotive service center as well. So
how long you been doing that? How long is your automotive service center? You've been out there in Mountain Grove quite a while, right?
Yeah, we've been we're working on 33 years now in business.
Wow.
So what made you decide
yeah.
to come up with your own formula for all this?
Yeah, so real short, we'll kind of get into this next week, but yeah, we designed it to reduce customer complaints and improve profitability at the shop here, and we accomplished it.
It's amazing. So you came up with
Translate that.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Improve profitability and reduce client complaints. What complaints are remedied by this
so,
product?
So basically, we were using all what would be our competitors' products at the time before we started formulating, and we had some customer complaints, such as, the tire shine would dry up or the trim still looked white and chalky, and, we were a little bit frustrated with that because we couldn't solve the problem by switching companies. And then, of course, the cost of the goods, was tremendous. So we had an idea of basically just formulating our own products. We didn't start out to do what we're doing now. We just did it to reduce the customer complaints, as I said, and then and increase profitability. So those two things were accomplished. But then in turn, we grew into a full manufacturing company.
That's amazing. And this is what the show's all about, is those people in the Ozarks that take something and it just grows from their own passion about something authentically, organically. Now, I got to tell you something. We have a little surprise for you.
Oh.
We took one of your 30-second radio commercials, and we actually, if everybody goes to the Facebook page right now on www.facebook.com/who do you know in 417mo, or just who do you know at the top of your Facebook.
There you go. That's easy.
I know, it's just fun to kind of talk like a radio person.
www. Listen to you.
There's a brand new commercial that shows Grady's before and afters. It shows some really good promotional pictures with your commercial laid over with pimpjuicecarcare.com, right? You guys, you're offering 40% off right now, and so we went ahead and turned that into a commercial.
That's a big deal.
Oh, cool. Yeah, now's actually a good time to spruce up the boat, the car, the RV, whatever you want to do, and
when people are pulling them out of the lake and bringing them back from the river, and
your car gets dirty in the meantime.
Well, it's
and
not just
everything
car.
else.
I mean, this is cars, boats, any of your
Right.
fun toy kind of stuff, right,
Exactly.
Grady?
Yeah, SUV, side by sides. Everybody has the razors, all that. So we actually have a competitive motocross team that we sponsor that they obviously go out and get pretty dirty. So we use that as promotion as well, and media presence.
So this works on all surfaces, inside, outside cars, inside, outside boats, all that kind of stuff. So how many products are we talking here, Grady?
Yeah, so all total with what we call the swag that we have, which would be like your hoodies and hats and stuff. I think we've added like 20. So we got 27 different products we promote now, and then it's grown quite a bit. We started out with one.
We really look forward to making sure that you, as a sponsor, thank you for your support of being one of the Ozark Neighbors official sponsorships. You have actually donated to become that sponsorship a very significant amount. We hope to support your business. We'll be seeing you next Wednesday on the Front Porch Interview, and so you're going to hear more from Grady. Thanks so much for calling in, Grady. We will talk to you soon, and make sure to go to Facebook and see your new commercial, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Thanks for your time, and you guys have a good day. I'll see you later.
Super duper, bro. Go lift some weights and run a mile. All right. He's a great guy. I mean, there's a couple of videos right now, Matt, that between yesterday when he came in, he was a pro. He walked right in that studio, boom, vroom, 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 get G's pimp juice. And he knows what he's doing, and he's really, really emphatically passionate because he knows his product so well because it was developed here in the Ozarks.
Yeah, it's not like he just developed it, just sold it to people. He
These
actually
aren't
uses it on a
franchises,
daily
people.
basis and gets things done. So we really look forward to that.
Well, it's Front Porch Interview time. It's time for the official Front Porch Interview.
Pretty excited.
And I got to say, just a swinging. There's a couple of great people in the room, one of which I have known. One of my first memories is of her stallion red hair and amazing singing voice at the front of Ridgecrest
Did you
Baptist.
say stallion?
Oh, dude, she was so impressive and intimidating all at once when I was 12 and 13. She was singing on the stage at Ridgecrest Baptist Church when it was just a sanctuary and a hallway of classrooms.
Right.
And Jody Bilyeu from Big Smith, we talked about him earlier. He was our youth director.
Oh, my gosh, the whole family,
and,
I'm sure,
I
right?
actually made up excuses so Joy Bilyeu would give me a ride to school to Kickapoo.
Sweet talk her into it.
Welcome, Miss Joy.
Thanks. No one has ever said that my hair was like a stallion.
Stallion red
I actually
hair.
really like that. I'm going to use that.
Stallion red hair.
We will never
change
describe
her bio
you.
right
I was
now
going to say. You can use that from now on, right?
Sweet.
And then we've got Mr. Geoff Steele here as well, right?
Yes,
The other half.
Yes, the other half. She gets all of the hair for the household.
Hey, somebody's
all of the
got
hair
to.
for the household.
That's
You
good.
can't compete, so why? Like,
No.
why even try? I mean, I see what you're
No.
doing with your goatee there.
Yeah, well,
That's a fine effort.
You can grow. Yeah, well, I
He
keep
can grow it
short.
down here, right?
I keep. Oh yeah,
It's just not
yeah.
up there.
I've had a burgeoning beard before, but CPAPs don't like masks.
Right. And you have to compete with stallion-like hair. So, but we appreciate you guys here. You guys represent the historic Gillioz Theatre here in Springfield, so we are super excited that you're here.
Thanks.
I know I go there a lot to see bands and shows and things like that, but I'm just wanting to dig into who you guys are, where you came from, all that kind of stuff.
I want to know along the way. Now, Joy, I know your family is. I mean, you're
immensely
crazy invested
talented
in Ozark history
Yeah.
through your mother, her family, the musical side, the Bald Knobbers. I mean, people probably know that about you, and you probably end up talking about it a lot. But is that something I'd like to know where your road and his road met? First and foremost, because now, I mean, your road has led to being the directors of the Gilloiz, which is a nonprofit, yada, 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 yada. I kind of want to know, how did this cool thing happen right here with the Hyphenated Steel?
How did that happen, Joy?
It's a good band name, Hyphenated Steel.
Hyphenated Steel. You know, we are a picture of God's grace, is what we are. We both have been married twice before. I never lasted over 2 years. So when Jeff and I hit the 2-year mark, my dad called and said, well, you're in uncharted territory. How are things?
He did.
We're like, things are great.
He
We
did.
actually met at Ridgecrest Baptist.
Oh, wow.
He was our sound guy. And
Oh, wow, very cool. Now, was that when it was already built up into the larger establishment?
No, I was there in the
No, he
chapel.
was there.
I
You
started
were
in the chapel, and then we moved into the FC, and I asked her out, and she said no.
I did.
Oh.
He was my brother's Sunday school teacher. And
Are we talking about William?
Will.
Hey,
The
Will,
famous Will Bilyeu-Steele.
pull your dad's finger, just like you did on Facebook today.
So yeah, he asked me out, and he actually asked me out for coffee. And at that point in my life, I said,
I don't drink coffee.
She did.
my
I did.
gosh.
I did.
Shut me down.
That's so
Shut
not,
me down,
It was
man.
just a
not like me
coffee.
either to be that way. I'm like,
They have
I'm-
smoothies at coffee shops, too.
My nose
Yeah.
bled through
I
the
bet.
phone, man.
He
She
was
shut
like,
me
we
down
don't have
so hard.
to drink coffee.
So much shade. So much shade.
I was like, yeah, I kind of got something else going on.
I'm not there right now.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
played
it's-
hard to get for a while.
Well, that was
She did.
actually dumb
But you
of
weren't
me,
playing. I mean, you'd been through things in your life, I'm sure, that you know, when you're
I was
receptive,
getting
you're
ready
receptive,
to
right? And when-
end up marrying husband number 2, which didn't work so well. So I should have said yes to his invitation, but I didn't. So he went to Nashville and did all kinds of things. And
What'd you do in Nashville?
I worked for a record company. I toured a little bit as a technician with a guy named Michael W. Smith. And a little
Oh,
bit
we
called
just
DC
talked
Talk.
about him.
Yeah.
We used to see him in Silver Dollar City all
yeah.
the time.
coming
Right.
to the Gilloiz.
He's coming to the Gilloiz
this fall.
Really?
October.
Good-
Can,
Yeah.
can,
Good
can I have a
call.
quick conversation with him, please? I have a thing I want to talk to him about when I was 13 at Silver Dollar City when he was playing there, and this boy that had a crush on me, and I always thought Michael W. Smith would know the answer. He knew the answer to so much when I was 13.
Oh, man. Everybody loved him.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I can't believe
Man.
he's coming. That's
yeah,
great.
he's coming, and so and then I worked for a record company, and then that brought me back in a marketing standpoint. So I did about 8 years, and then she said that she would go out, so we started going out.
She needed a little caffeine.
She needed a little caffeine.
You drink
No,
coffee
we never
now?
got coffee.
I
She does
do,
drink
but he
coffee
doesn't.
Now. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Promotes hair loss, so I stay away from the bean. But
Sure.
The bean.
but we. Yeah, but we've been married now for 22 years.
Wow.
22
Amazing.
years.
Congratulations.
So,
That's
yeah.
so beautiful.
Too
I
cool.
love it.
Exciting.
Too cool.
I love it.
Exciting.
So both in the entertainment
still pretty hot.
industry.
She's
yeah, that's good.
super
She's still
hot.
a stallion-like hair, which is
She's
great.
stallion hair is still there.
It's not going
Stallion.
anywhere, I assume. But we know you
Yeah.
guys obviously came from the entertainment industry. Your whole
Right.
family is just emphatically driven Ozarks music people.
9
and I love
generations.
that.
I think
mean,
them
it's
singing in the
huge.
Ozarks for the last, 5,200 years has created a certain vibration.
It has.
And it somehow,
brought
all of us
awareness.
that are born here, there's a magnet in our behinds that even no matter how far we move away, we somehow have to get back to
And
that vibration of the
yeah.
Ozarks.
And I
Yes.
swear, if you're from
Yeah.
Nixa or
Yes.
Highlandville
Yeah.
or Branson, you know the family name very well. I know my house that I grew up in, or the one I live in now, actually is supposedly tied to the Blues somehow, some way, down
That's
on
right.
Woods Fork
I
Road in
remember you telling me
Highlandville. When the old what do they call wagon trail went right past the house and stuff. We still find old car parts. And
That's
all that kind
awesome.
of stuff. And honestly, I'd love to talk to you more about it, but we don't have much time here to do that. So, so tell us, where did you grow up? Then, are you from Nixa? Are you from Branson?
Nixa.
Okay.
I went to Clever for
Okay.
quite some time. My dad was pastor down there.
That's right.
And then he moved to Ridgecrest, which was a little house with like
And you
20
lived over
people.
there off of Golden.
I did, and so I graduated from Kickapoo. So I'm
Okay.
a Kickapoo girl, married to a Glendale grad.
That's right.
You know, big rivals. We can't talk about school stuff.
Yeah, I'm moving away. I'm stepping over here.
All I know is a Viking can kill a falcon.
Yeah, but we
But they rarely do.
And so
I don't know.
wait, I ended up a Viking.
Yes.
Eventually, I was a Parkview. I was a Viking, but
Pretty
then,
sure Vikings are extinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Falcons live
No, they're
on.
not. I'm a living example of one. I'm genetically. Actually, we did the whole family thing. Have you guys done that
The lineage
for the
thing?
Bilyeu family? Have
Oh.
you ever looked
Oh,
at your
God.
lineage and seen
Yeah.
that's a good question.
That'd take a
What'd
while.
you find out?
The family
believe
tree
we
doesn't
were,
have branches.
We were
all
horse
inbred.
thieves, I think.
Oh God! Did you just say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked
It's
over you.
amazing.
Posey and Bob, and I'm
it's
so sorry.
amazing. It's amazing
I said
they
that's
have
why we all
thumbs.
sing. That's why we can all sing.
You can all harmonize.
That's why it
blend
sounds
is
like
real.
they're playing
It's not
a
been
guitar with 6
blended,
fingers.
Because they are.
When you get married and you don't have to change your last name, there's a problem.
I don't think it's a problem.
That means it's a very well-known name.
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Bob
yeah.
and Connie know exactly what I'm
I,
talking
you know, I was gonna say don't say their names, but hey, I gotta say one of my favorite people of all time is Mr. Bob Bilyeu
Oh man, he's a
Hosey
stud.
as well.
and Hosey because
gosh,
he led
who
my
doesn't know
spiritual
Hosey?
life.
If you-
Yeah.
He think he's baptized me 3 times.
First two didn't stick.
I keep trying, man. I keep going down a dark road and going, I gotta go back.
Yeah. Wash it all away. Wash it all away, please.
But no, Bob as a debate coach, and then your aunt Connie was my choir director.
Incredible
Best choir
teachers.
director
Oh
ever.
my gosh!
Yeah,
Yes,
they both are
circa
incredible
1986
teachers.
is Kickapoo freshman, and she put me in. I mean, she was just magnificent, and that whole family. But let's move forward.
Yeah.
Okay, the Gilloiz is closed. Nothing's been happening there for a long time. What year was that? How did this
Was closed,
process?
yeah.
I want to know about how the two of you, after your 20-some-odd year marriage and your life, and how you. I know you ran Remington's.
Right.
Okay.
You drove people back and forth from over there to church, and then you had events there and tried to make. I want to know about that era. What happened?
Okay, well, the Gillioz Theatre was subject to what a lot of downtown America was, which was in the early 70s as the suburban sprawl happened and things like the Battlefield Mall came into place in Springfield. Then people departed downtown. They started moving to the suburban lifestyle and all under one roof. So downtown started to close down. The theater, going all the way back in 26, opened up as a real show place, as a transition house.
1926
so it was,
was the original
1926.
year? Oh, wow. You're coming up on
We're
very
93 in October.
Wow.
And so 26, it was part vaudeville and part silent film. Then as vaudeville perished, it moved into a talkie. And then in 1980, ultimately, as a matter of fact, day before yesterday was the anniversary of the last performance of a live event there, which would have happened in
Springfield
1980.
Regional Opera.
The Springfield Regional Opera did. Do you remember what it was? Matt Levlin put it on. He's our ghost of the Gilloiz, and he put it on Facebook. But
so on your Facebook page,
there's a thing on there because literally the anniversary of its closing was like 2 days ago in 1980, and so then a number of things began to happen. People that I call my heroes: Nancy Dornan Brown, Sam Freeman, Jim D. Morris, Gary Ellison. These guys all started looking at this building and saying, "Man, we don't want this to die."
It is
I mean,
so
this
important.
Beautiful is
Everybody
incredible.
forgot
so
about
important.
it, honestly.
Yeah, and it was the vagrants lived there.
Oh, that's so sad.
And it, when
I
all the
did some
seats were
illicit
gone.
things in there that I can't talk about. But
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the statute of limitations are over,
Right.
so I probably could.
Yeah,
We
you
used to
weren't
play it-
alone.
Oh, I know, because I was following others. It
Right.
was- I mean, we all sang in bands downtown, and
Yeah.
and there
It
was
had
an
great
era
acoustics in
which-
there. We'll say
They did
that.
have great
It-
acoustics.
oh, I'd
Still
get warm.
does.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd warm up in there. You know?
Yeah,
I know,
but so then in 1980 it closed, and then it took literally 26 years for it to get reopened.
Jeez.
So
A quarter
in
of a
context,
century.
Now, was
yeah.
that because of funding and trying to get it to where
A
they could
variety of
remodel
things.
it? And
Because
Yeah.
it's a
Variety of
historic
things.
location, so I'm sure
Yeah.
there were lots of hoops in that too,
Oh,
right?
that's
There were.
true.
It's on the registry with the Congressional Historic Registry, and so it's a beautiful space. And those guys were amazing, and really were the precursor for downtown rejuvenation. Because when that
Absolutely.
theater reopened 12 years ago now, you could walk to the square and not pass a retail business.
Right.
You know, the Alan Casey
Restaurants,
and
all
some
that.
guys were there, but the office spaces, but the retail spaces didn't exist. And now, by the grace of God, you can walk all the way to the square. It's a lovely,
the Big
lovely
Whiskey's
place.
is
It
there
is.
that has a lot. I mean, that's
Yeah,
adjacent.
Dublin's and
Oh, it's
Dublin's
so
is in
all of that
classy
was
through
the
there.
old
Oh,
men's
it's great.
suit
That's the
store.
difference.
The
Right.
what men's
Well,
suit store was that?
Dublin's was the Netter's building, was the department
right.
store. It was a
Yeah.
three-story
Right.
department store, and there was just a ton down there. But so it's been great. And so for us, we got there. The president of the board during this last 10 years or so was Dr. Philip Rothschild, who's at Missouri State University, and Dr. R knew me from my previous stuff in Nashville, and so he had called me at Remington's about 3 years before I came and to the Gilloiz and said we really could use you downtown, and I had just gotten Remington's paid off. So I really didn't have
That
a
was a
desire to
feat.
leave.
Good job. Right.
Yeah, well,
I remember
mean,
you telling me
Ridgecrest, those guys
all
were
that.
great. I mean, the community was great about
Yeah.
it, and Ridgecrest was amazing
Mhm.
through the whole process. So I was thrilled to have that for 11 years.
Mhm.
But I said no, and Joy was still at the Ballknobbers at that point. So then you fast forward to 2005, and they call and say, this is literally what he said. He said, I need an old guy. That's what he said to me.
Thanks.
And I said, I'm going to call my therapist, and I'm going to call you back. And so
maybe your pastor too.
Yeah,
What did you ask your therapist?
yeah. But some
What was
things
the
had
question
changed.
that you asked the therapist?
When did I become an old man? And get off my
And
lawn.
why didn't I realize
you know,
it?
and
Get
so
off my lawn.
you know, so. But Joy, something had changed for Joy because Joy had stopped at the Ballknobbers at that point, so she was still trying to figure out what she wanted to do.
Sure.
And so we made a pitch and said, if you brought us both down, we could probably make something happen. So the first
what was
year,
your instinct, Joy, at that point when this all came up?
Did it feel right? I mean,
Was your gut or your
It did.
It
I
had
mean,
to.
it was petrifying to me at the same time, but it felt totally right. And in fact, the first, when he first walked me through, just him and I, and we went on the stage, and I totally started crying.
Oh
I
my
was like,
gosh.
okay,
What a moment.
God's
gave
given
us
you a theater.
and it's historical.
It's
That's
been
how I feel about
and
this.
it's been
this show
rejuvenated
that we're doing.
as well.
for me to
Remodeled. They did
love
it.
and-
You just knew.
Yeah,
It's a
I
beautiful
did.
remodel they
You
did.
didn't know
on
how
I
it.
it
had
was
to
gonna
learn
work.
a lot.
Yeah,
Still
right.
learning a lot.
Well,
But
this is a nonprofit. I think a lot of
We
people
are
have
a
a
nonprofit.
misnomer that they think that you bring in these big names like Chris Christopherson, Dave Chappelle, Parliament. I mean, all these crazy. I saw Blues Traveler there with my daughter.
I saw Gary Clark Jr. and he's a huge
oh my gosh.
Grammy-winning artist, and
Yeah.
that blew my mind. You guys had him. I literally almost cried when I saw it was coming on.
and you're within 100 feet from him.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, I could
Of
smell
him.
George Clinton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
I'm sure you could.
Well,
Literally.
you weren't alone.
he kind
There's
of
a theme.
fills a room,
There's
right?
a theme. There's a theme for
That's
you about the
good.
Gilloiz. You're never alone.
Fills the
Fills a room.
Yeah.
So how does that work? How does a nonprofit apply? And please explain that. That's something I think most people don't know about it.
I never
about
knew
the
that.
Gilloiz.
I mean, that's
and we're talking
amazing.
about on Park Central East. In case you're unfamiliar, please go to our Facebook page right now. You can also go to our Ozark Neighbors page. We've got some old photos when Burt Lancaster and Marilyn
Yeah.
Monroe were on a movie, and then you see it today. How is it a nonprofit?
Okay, so the theater, whenever they were trying to restore it, in context, M.E. Gilloiz, that it's named after, was a bridge builder, and it cost him about $300,000 to build it in 1926. It cost Nancy and the crew just over $12 million to put it back in 2006 when it reopened. And so things had to happen. And so the numbers don't add up from a for-profit entity, and it never will, because the reality is for most theaters like this, you're operating off of 10 to 12% of the revenue that comes in. Same thing that you think about a movie theater,
Sure.
and you think, well, ticket prices are one price, but you're paying so much for the concessions,
Yeah.
and that's because the theater's not getting virtually any of the money
making
off
money
of the
off the
ticket.
food and the
Your-
drinks
The
and-
concessions pay for all of the utilities and all of the staff and everything else. So you start going, okay, now I know why I'm paying
That's
more
why I'm paying an
at
$8
the
bill
concession
here. I'm
stand
gonna buy
instead
an
of for the,
$8
the
beer at that
ticket,
place.
because
Yeah.
the ticket's
It's
going to go to
worth
the
it
film.
for the venue.
Yeah.
So the same thing's true in live theater for these national touring acts. They're literally what they're having to pay to cover all of the economy of scale for them with their band and with the artist and with management, the people that I'm dealing with,
promotion,
all of those pieces add up to where 10 to 11% of our revenue is actually what goes back to the theater. That's not gonna work.
No, you can't operate on that kind of overhead.
No way. So most historic
Says
theaters,
the banker.
That's about 20% less than what businesses operate on typically.
For sure.
If you're at 20-30%. If you're at 20, you're scraping.
In retail, you try to keystone, right?
Exactly.
You literally try to say, okay, well, if I've got $1 in it, I'm going to sell it for $2 minimum. That's kind of the way that the retail world works. Well, that's not the way that this works. This is where if I'm charging $1.90 90 cents of it or 89 cents of it's going back out the door and has nothing to do with...
You really only made a dime.
You made a dime.
Give me $1, I make a dime.
And my dime has got to cover a 93-year-old, $12 million property. And so it doesn't work. So most historic theaters, 45 to 60% of the revenue...
I want to be a 93-year-old, $12
is
million
generated
property
through donations and endowments.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. I mean, you've got endowments, obviously, that come from private trusts, entities, estates.
Well, it would be great if we did. The reality is, one of the things that makes the Gilloiz so unique, I'm going to interrupt you because this is a profound thing.
I want to know.
The reality is that a Gillioz Theatre is, to our knowledge, the only historic theater operating in North America that doesn't have donations and endowments on an ongoing basis.
Wow.
So we're living off of that 10%, and that's not sustainable for us. And so we're beginning that education process. And so you're right. We've changed some of the programming, and it's led to an area of opportunity for me that says these, probably I need to do a better job of explaining to people this won't be here forever unless we start developing a more traditional model, which is so that somebody has to cover that experience.
Well, it seems like you guys just started gaining steam among just people in Springfield and the surrounding areas. A lot of people were like, I don't even know what the Gilloiz is because they were born in the 80s or whatnot when it was shut down. Nobody knew. Nobody knows but there's a lot of my generation that goes to these shows that I see.
Yes.
I mean, I see my friends there all the time. Like half of
100%.
Nixa goes there whenever there's a good show on or whatnot, and all of them are great. But you start seeing these rock and roll bands coming through, and people getting excited about that, and it just creates more awareness for you guys. So I hope the endowments come. But do you guys take private donations as well, or what?
We do, yeah, and we
would happily take.
I bet you would.
And we've had some people, and and I want to be really clear. We've had some great heroes that have come through. One of them, most notably, is Rob Lowe from Prime.
No kidding.
Robert Lowe from Prime. Actually, shortly after it reopened in 2006, it subsequently went bankrupt within 2 years.
Right. Everybody remembers that.
Yeah, and the theater was really in more jeopardy then, in as much jeopardy as it was in 1980. And so, except they had debt on them. And so, but Rob Lowe, to his benefit, saw what it could mean for downtown Springfield, and so he went and bought it off the courthouse steps.
That's amazing.
And let me interject real quickly here, Matt.
Yeah.
I have to say, if anyone out there is familiar with the Gilloiz, this is something you really have got to know. It is like the unknown Grand Ole Opry is how I see it. It is the crown jewel of the Queen City's crown when it comes to a historical musical location in my mind.
Absolutely. People travel here for those shows.
Absolutely.
I travel to Kansas City for good shows. Now I don't have to.
Right.
But even to the side, no matter what shows you're bringing in, for those people that believe in that kind of investment in our community, we are directly asking you to contact Joy and Geoff at the Gilloiz to try to get some more additional foundations, something going, which is why we wanted to invite you here.
Right. Yes.
So how do they ask you, what do you need to where we make sure, and I know that we have a lot of musicians listening on Facebook, everybody wave, Jimmy Ray, Brandon Moore, you start connecting to
Andy
even
Frasco,
the Mark Swains, even some of these other locations that have venues that are not, no one can compete with the Gilloiz.
Well, no.
But I'll tell you, any of those business owners that have where you have maybe the secondary touring acts, the better the Gilloiz does, the better we're all going to do for music in Southwest Missouri.
Yeah. And that's the mission.
Period.
So when you ask,
bringing revenue,
when you ask about the what we're doing, the theater, we've got a twofold mission as a nonprofit. The first primary mission is to preserve the historic space. I mean, that's the reason that it was. That's the reason the 501 was created, was because these are America's Sistine Chapels. I mean, this is the reality. We're not that old a country.
Because there's
been more of us praising God in there than there is in church.
There's about
I'll
400
tell you what.
of them that are active right now. There's about
400 on this
on this continent in the United States that are part of this League of Historic American Theaters.
That's what I was
they're
looking for.
huge, and so and they're great, and a lot of communities are doing exactly what Springfield's doing, and they're recognizing, man, if we don't catch it, we're never gonna we
gonna
can't
lose it.
rebuild it,
Yeah.
and it's a significant part of who we are and how we express ourselves, and so that's beautiful. The second thing, though, which you're referencing specifically, is in addition to preserving the space, the second thing, our mission is to increase the quality of life for people in the Ozarks,
100%.
whether they're visitors or whether they're residents. And so the programming is a part of that. The ability for you, the fact that you recognize, listen, our ticket price is still often less than it is in St. Louis.
Your ticket price is amazing, trust me.
Yes.
And the ability to be able to say, okay, even living in Nixa, I'm 20 minutes from home.
Yeah.
And if I go to see a show, in St. Louis, and we do.
Oh, it's overnight.
It's overnight,
it's
and
cab
it's fuel,
fares,
and it's all of these
oh my
pieces, and
God.
the parking, what it costs to park.
$500 or so.
And the
so
more
it's
we
crazy.
put into it, the more opportunity you're going to be able to get people
Right.
like what I just heard, Chris Christopherson,
Right. That's
huge.
who's going to be here in November.
Yeah, right.
Oh
Fun,
my
huh?
gosh, you've had some names through there that the more that the community realizes the reciprocal nature of music, and also, I mean, Joy said it. The minute you walked through, you can feel something.
Yeah. So one of the things that we say,
Quality
is
of life.
it's more than who you see; it's where you see them.
Absolutely.
We think that the room has something to say to
Dave
the
Chappelle
conversation.
was flipping hilarious.
He
by
was
the way.
hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
He was hilarious.
So inappropriate.
But so was
that's
Jim
Dave
Mulaney.
Chappelle.
Yes.
Or John Mulaney. And
Kathy
there's,
Griffin was
yeah.
just a hoot.
Yeah, Ron White. I mean, the comedians have been
Ron White's one of my
significant.
favorites.
Those are pretty good draws for you guys, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
those are
great.
well-known names.
They're great, and it matters to
have a little
the
crush
artist
on
as much
Ron
as it
White.
does to the. As
I've
to
always
much
had
as
because
it
to
a
me,
crush on Ron
it
White
seems
too.
to me
Hey,
like-
Joy Bilyeu and I are going to run off with Ron White. Ron White, are you listening? You got a couple of raven and stallion-haired women.
Raven
down here.
and stallion-haired women. I don't think ravens have much
Alto's
hair.
ready to sing for you.
I keep saying the same thing. You wouldn't be alone if you run off with Ron White. You wouldn't be alone. He's had a few people on his plane, is what I'm saying.
Well, and were you one of them? Are you? How do you know all this?
I'm not. Would you had
don't
a
kiss
question.
and
Disclose
tell.
that.
Geoff Steele doesn't kiss
next,
and tell.
Next subject.
He's turning red.
I love
Well-
the dead silence.
Well, so which honestly, ask Gene. That never happens on this show.
There's so much talking over happening right now. It's amazing radio. This is crazy.
So my biggest question is, when I walk into that place, how many people are actually seated in that?
1,015.
1,015, because it feels like a lot more the way it's set up. So I feel like the guys that are on stage probably also feel like it's more because the energy is so great in that room when it's full or whatnot, which is the goal every time, right?
Right.
So those people like Dave Chappelle that come in, he played twice, didn't he?
Yeah,
didn't he do two
shows.
nights or something?
Yeah, he did 2 shows.
Okay, so you need more of that stuff too, I would assume. But you guys also do special events there too, correct?
Oh yeah, we've got an OTC graduation taking place tomorrow.
OTC graduation.
Yeah, OTC graduation. is
I
tomorrow.
want to hear about. I
Wow.
heard this thing about something about the Springfield Little Theater, and was it the orchestra? What is it? that's
Discovery
coming?
Center.
Discovery Center.
This is the August 25th event.
Oh right, the
Oh,
August
my
25th.
gosh.
We're going to do the Frozen sing along. So we're going to show the film with the lyrics to this soundtrack. This is the #1 animated feature of all time
Yes.
in the box office.
Let it
and the
go.
soundtrack's huge
Let it
multi-award winning
go.
soundtrack.
And the second one's about to come
Imelda
out.
And the
Deeb,
second
right?
one's
What was
getting
it?
ready to come
What
out.
did John Travolta call her? Hamelda Jabib or something on the chick that sang that song.
I have no idea.
Remember,
idea.
John Travolta
No
messed up
idea.
her name when she won for the song of the year on the
Yes.
Oscars.
It's a tough
Yeah,
name. Yeah.
It is.
Adele disease.
It's a bad one.
Adele disease?
That sounds
That's
like
when
a
you're
real
really
disease.
sad.
Doesn't sound terrible. Adele's awesome.
Adele has the
You
Adele
just
disease.
means you
which
can
is-
sing real well.
You
Discovery
go
Center-
hang with Ron White, and I'll hang with Adele. That's fine.
Discovery
Can we all be
Center-
in one room?
So
Yeah.
yes. So real quick, we don't have much time. So
Joy has some.
August 25th, Frozen sing along at the Gilloiz, which is super cool. They're going to show the movie. The Discovery Center, you said, is doing a showcase out front. Tell us more about that.
We're doing cold experiments because it's August 25th. And it's so cold in Springfield that we're going to do winter experiments in the lobby that are hands-on, and the 417 Princesses are going to be there from the Springfield Little Theater.
Huge.
So you'll be able to get your picture
That's
made with
myself and
live
Joy.
Elsa and these pieces, and then you'll go in and be able to sing. There's a costume contest for the kids.
That's even better.
And big prizes, but it's a great opportunity. So the key thing for the takeaway here is I love what the Gilloiz gets to do, but being in Springfield, and the reason this is so interesting to me is because the fact that we get to partner with the Springfield Little Theater and the Discovery Center and the relationship that we have with the History Museum and all of the great things that we're going to do and the other venues,
Love
Juanita K and these things, it's never been a better time to live in Springfield, Missouri than it is today. And we love being a part of the most colorful chapter for the Gilloiz of 93 years. We're trying to make this the most vibrant color.
There you go.
We're glad
Well,
we
you
did.
are the queen jewel of Who Do You Know, and do not mistake us for professional radio people. I'm a realtor. He's a banker. And this has been Who Do You Know in 417 Mo. This is our 11th episode. We hope you keep tuning in on Wednesday afternoons at 3 p.m. Find us online everywhere. You've got YouTube, Facebook, and just type in hashtag Who Do You Know. Matt, have a great day, brother.
You too, Jennifer. Thank
Bye,
you all
Jeff.
for being here, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate
Thank you, Joy. I love you guys.
Hi, this is Trish with My Movers. Whether you're moving across the street